to another session of drawing with the Paintology drawing app. And the app is available in the Google Play Store. And you can get that for your Android phone or tablets. I use the phone actually. So this is my phone. Let me just put that away. By the way, this is Screen Recorder. You can also download for yourself. It's called Screen Recorder 2022, an update coming soon, but it's a very good recorder. It's been downloaded all over the world here. And you typically use this. If you see all the videos that I do, which are not live streamed, they're all based on this screen recorder, yeah? This is Paintology screen recorder. So what do we have? Let's have a look. Just want to go over a few things before I dive in. And this is typically the way I draw. You're probably familiar with this method of drawing using the phone and finger. If you're new, then you know that you can make impressive drawings. Don't let others tell you can't do much on the phone. If you look at some of my drawings I've done, you'll see for yourself that the phone is a powerful device for digital drawing, especially the methods that I'm going to show you here. Here are some examples of drawing on the phone. You can see this one just using the shade brush only, and I was drawing the fruits, so I was drawing that in freehand. Most of these drawings I've done are freehand. And you can see this looks like a pencil drawing that I've done. This one, the rock. You can see that one was done on the pencil. Many types of drawings. And this one as well. Very quickly, half an hour that took me, I think. So easy to do, you'll be surprised. So it's a question of how you use the digital medium. The problem is most beginners haven't got art techniques, and the sad thing is they won't have art techniques because they rush to an app, and what do they do with the app? Oh, they find thousands of tools to keep them interested in drawing, and following their doodling methods of learning art and learning by brush, layers, and all the blending tools, and which takes away the focus on doing it manually, which is done in traditional. So you'll notice that I do everything by hand in traditional, and I'm a lot faster as well. I would say exceptionally faster than a digital artist doing the same thing with their tools, and their picture or artwork will not appear like the ones I draw because I'm not using the myriad of tools that they do. This is done on the phone yesterday in the live stream. So the theme was cottage, and so I drew this on this phone, and I finished afterwards. I think I probably completed 2/3 of it, and then I had to spend half an hour, 40 minutes to finish the rest. You see the sky. If you want to know how I did the sky, it was very simple. I had the density setting at 40%, and then I would, depending on the size of the clouds that I wanted to produce. So I'll show you actually. You could see this. Let me pick the cloud color. So I'll pick the cloud color. No, this one. And then I've got the density. And then I'm just gonna look at that beautiful cloud effect, isn't it? Taking away. See that? See that how that's created? The density setting is exceptionally powerful. So this is the thing I didn't show you completely. I did show bits of it, but I didn't show you completely. So it's beautiful, isn't it? So that's how I produced the cloud, and then I showed this to my daughter. And for the first time, she needed to peer at the phone to see if she wasn't looking at an actual photo. So I was quite pleased with that, Overall, 1.5 hours spent on this drawing, and then there you are. This is what you can achieve. So let's go back home. Let's save this. And then show you the other cottage that I did. I'll show you this. So look, there was with a line drawing. This was the one I did with the line drawing, and then I colored it in. It's very easy. You can do the same thing. Don't be limited by tools. If you do go through the path of the tools, you have a particular goal in mind, which is to become, you're fashioning your skills around the digital artists that you've seen in majority of the online or artwork sites. And they use Photoshop tablets, the big expensive, like a software application like Photoshop with a tablet connected to it with a stylus, and then they use lots of tools. That's the method. You could go by that route. I'm not saying that's the only, but you're not going to be able to draw naturally like this because you're looking after tools. You could, but you wouldn't be able to take it as far as I do when it comes to blending, blending, shading, and doing those clouds that I've shown you. You won't, because you'll always be turning to tools to do that. And so the techniques I show you originates from the traditional medium. That's the reason why I developed this app, because I had good skills in the traditional mediums, and I transferred that into and created this app, Paintology app, exactly for that purpose. Because at that time when I launched it, I realized not many people were drawing in this way, so I needed to show them the drawings, and I'm believe me, the 2 months I've been showing these live streams, I could see my skills accelerate. You have to just, I've seen some of the tools, some of the deep tools regarding the density settings, transparency density, and all that. And then I applied it to freehand drawing, which I'll show you in one of the live tutorials. Let me show you, which I was quite pleased with. So you saw the cottage, so you can see what can be done. I'll show you one. This one. I applied freehand skills, just having the reference image. Just having the reference image on my laptop while I'm looking at it and using the brushes. This clearly showed to me that just this is the only tool set I really kept in my drawing here, and then I just move this brush size, color picker to pick the colors, not the color picker because I wasn't using a reference image. You can watch the video, I will post it, but the final drawing is this one, and then I add the water. I'm honestly, all you do is you get lost in the moment. As I was doing the water, I was paying attention to the line brush and how the density affected the opacity of the brush, which is exactly the same thing as tonal shades. And I'm telling you, tones and shades are far superior through the digital medium than you could possibly do with the traditional. And if traditional artists are sitting on the sidelines thinking that digital art is too complex, too technical, they should be watching my channel. So just if you know anyone who's really into pencil drawing and drawing in general, just point them in this direction, and then if they still insist as technical, or they're feeling, oh, I can't feel the paper over the brush, I can't feel the paint, what are you gonna do? Put the colors on your face and then feel it or something? That is such early nonsensical thinking that it goes out of your head. I've initially had that impression. I was saying, why, I had the hesitation. Why was I going to do digital? It doesn't feel right. I've got this glass area that I'm going to use. It hasn't got any of the feedback that I need. And then honestly, this is the truth. It took me like a month when I completely forgot the whole notion that I was drawing on digital, all I was focused on getting the effects, getting the things exactly what the good artists do, trying to get effects on their canvas and learning the techniques and art. So as you can see, you ask anyone if they believe this was done on a Note 10 phone, I guarantee they're going to say no. So anyway, so this is how what levels you can achieve, and I hopefully go beyond what I'm doing, because I'm really here to show you techniques, not to show off my artwork. So let me see what we got. Yeah, so what are we doing today? Before I do that, let's hop on to some resources that you might want to look at. Yeah, this one. So again, I'm going to encourage you to join the Google Classroom, which is a link on the YouTube descriptions. And it's so far, there have been a few people who joined up, but the whole idea of this is to teach you fundamentals. It's not teaching you another app. If you find you are focused or glued to one app, it's possible that you are glued to the tools and you have a particular method of drawing, which is fine. But the method I'm showing you, it's far more versatile in the sense that you're not limited by tools. Tools, you want to be a master of the tools, not a slave to the tools. That's my saying, and that's saying that I'm not sure if anyone else has said that, but that's my saying, okay? So this is all the drawing tools it shows you, and then it goes through, not showing you about the tools. It doesn't go through tools. It goes through training you to become artistic while doing some fun tutorials here. These are the tutorials: paint by numbers, pencil drawing using the shade brush. Paint by numbers is line brush, helps you to improve your drawing shape. Just try it and then go through it. But the Google Classroom defines these tutorials a lot better according to a set structured class, So if you're interested in drawing and painting in general, I would suggest you do this because it teaches you fundamental core skills in art. You'll be surprised if you're a student or an art class. Show your teacher this, then maybe they will see some benefit. If they have questions related to it, post it, and then I'll be happy to answer it. Paintology has been designed to teach you the 4 core skills in art. Otherwise, how do you think I managed to do all these drawings? You just could not even fathom where to start. And where to start is the drawing process, which I've been going on about for a long time. This one as well. This one as I did in like a pencil graphite drawing, again on the same tutorial. I think I finished it without having to use extra time to complete the drawing. So there's a lot of drawings I can show you. Happy to show you, but you're welcome to visit this page, which is, I'll show you this page. Where is it? Let's go. Let's go paintology.com. Or paintology.quora.com is something you should also visit because I do daily updates so that I'm an active user. I have answered over 1,000 questions related to art and the digital medium in particular, paintology.com. Go to paintology.com, you'll find a link here. Can you see it? A daily step-by-step video. Click on that, and then you'll see I spent a good couple of hours going through. You see, coming up 3rd October 2023, 9:15. Look here, see, 10:10 is the next one on Produce channel, and then I have completed drawing here. These completed drawings. There, this one was the one you saw. So I have loads of completed drawings that you can see for yourself, particularly like this one, and also this one. See, All of these are drawings made on the phone. So how do you do it? Well, to do it, you can you need to really think like a sponge. You know, you need to be like a sponge when it comes to learning. Believe me, a lot of people come with preconceptions, and that's a killer to your skills. If you come with preconceived ideas that you can't do something for not having any talent, that's a killer. That's going to stop you on your path from ever doing drawing at any level or any, so that's just going to stop you on your track. And then other ways to stop on your track is you you see you just your basic personality, your personality of exploration. If you lack exploration or passion in any subjects that you want to undertake and get better at it, if you lack those, then that's also a killer. I mean, it's not a killer. What I mean by that, it's just going to swamp you it's going to keep you in a doldrum state that you'll never go above because you haven't taken it above because you're less interested in it for some reason or another. And then but the main thing I need to tell you, when you do have that kind of a personality trait, I really need to tell you, is that it can affect any kind of skills that you want to pick up. Believe me, it will have you will have those same preconceived notions that you can't do it and you'll stop. Have you heard the saying, they'll finish where you started? That's where it comes from, but I've taken it a little bit further. So if you're really interested in this, I suggest looking at my drawings, looking at watching my live streams, watching carefully. That I'm not showing you anything. It may look exceptionally advanced to you, but it can be done. If you have the desire and inspiration, it can be done, and you can get to that. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm skillful in many areas, right? And I'm just proof of that. I mean, I've written a book. I've written poetry, about 300, 400 poems, and I have built. I'm very good at woodwork. Whatever I put my mind to, I'll take it far because I don't have those limitations. I go with a pursuit of interest. If it's, of course, boring and uninteresting, if you feel it's like work, then of course you're not going to enjoy it. I mean, drawing I do love, and the fact that I'm doing this diligently every day for you guys shows my passion, shows my interest. I'm not doing it just for the sake of doing it. I'm doing it because I also enjoy it. So let's dive in, and I think I've shown you everything. Let's dive in and let's see which drawing we're going to do. So the drawing I'm going to show you is through the Trace May image. So let me see, which one did I? No, I don't think I downloaded it. So I'm going to go back. Sorry, here, and then I'm going to go down here, and then click the reference image, the waterscape. That's the one. So I'm going to download that image. Go back to my Paintology. Where is it? There. Open that up. There you are. Easy peasy, right? That's the image we're going to draw. And the reason I wanted to do this particular drawing is going to show you blending, number one, and it's going to show you water. And I'm also dedicating these two drawings. The other one is also similar, seascape, dedicating to my daughter who asked me yesterday, Dad, can you show me how to draw sea, water and the sea? And she's 9 years old, and I know if I show it to her, she'll pick it up and run with it. So what am I going to do? Okay, so it's the block coloring, right? I'm not going to show you a process. You go to any YouTuber, what do you see? You go to any YouTuber who creates work of art, right? You will never learn the process unless they even when they put it into a fashionable tutorial step by step, you're still going to fumble. And the reason you fumble is that there are so many permutations or variations of how the teacher decides to do a particular piece of art. And that's called the drawing process. And you'll come to know, I mentioned that topic time and time again. The drawing process is something that is not even found on Google. When you look it up, there is one video that I found, YouTube video, of the drawing process. The rest are technical or industrial, the drawing process, right? Which Google comes by. I've got to test Bing. Maybe Bing will do a better job because they have the Chat GPT. But even then, Chat GPT did not get the fundamental, because they don't know the method that I've developed, right? They just don't know. They just know the majority that follow digital drawing based around tools. Okay, so the what I was saying, yeah. So the drawing process is difficult in the traditional, in the sense that the traditional is based on, you know, variations that you are not able to pull together. For example, let's take a pencil and paper, right? An artist with a pencil and paper has such control of the pencil. He's not going to be able to tell you how much pressure is applying, how much, you know, what he does when he comes to this area of the drawing. You know, if he has to do that and break down a pencil drawing, believe me, it will take good part of his time, unless someone's prepared to pay that person some good chunk of money for his effort. Nobody's going to do it. That's why they try and round it, summarize it, and when you summarize it, just does not work. The only successful, I can tell you, of a traditional artist that has made it widespread is Bob Ross. He's the only one who's had the capability to distill the drawing process and do it, and people could replicate it because they had tools. They knew what they needed to do with the colors. Even then, it was hard to pick the tonal colors, but they had an idea of how to create the trees, right? An example is, you know, he does a tree in like 2-3 minutes, right? And he shows you how he picks it up on his palette, and then how he just puts several degrees of color on his brush, on his big brush, and just paints along with it. It's that technique is like repeatable, and that's why he did it, and that's why he was successful. So the technique I'm going to show you is in digital. So now you have the same tool set. You don't have to go and buy all the canvases, pencil and paper. You got the same phone. You know, you probably have a screen bigger than mine, or maybe just a little less than mine, but you still have the Paintology app. This is the app, and then you have the same tools as I do. So now you can follow along with me. So this is, I am keeping the part where I'm going to tell you that it's very easy to do, which is the block coloring. And that's how I did the cottage. Most of it was through block coloring, and very little towards the end, like the last 30-40 minutes, was down to my skill of finding how to operate this. That's all. That's pretty much it. The density and and of course the brush. That's all it is. That's the technique. Nothing else. I'm not using blending, layers, whatever, you know, I don't think two-dimensionally. I think three-dimensionally. And then I do all the drawing step by step on the same layer. Okay, so how do we get to do block coloring? Block coloring, you should know by now, is easy. You, you, you load this reference image as the point of reference for your drawing. This top half represents the reference image, and the bottom half is your drawing. Let me show you. If we got this, just take that to 100%. Let's pick a color. That, you see, that's my drawing. And that's what we need to do. Transfer this reference image, or draw the reference image that looks pretty much similar to the original reference image, right? That's my image. And now look at the colors I'm going to pick, right? This is my color that I picked. If you're in the top half, if I use the color picker, it's going to pick these colors. Let's see. is pick these colors. So basically I can transfer these colors to my drawing. That's the power of the color picker. Never has a color picker been so useful then until now in a drawing. So so if I'm also, when I try and do block coloring, I'm trying to get much of the colors of the original reference image to my canvas. Yeah. So I'm going to keep it 20%, use the color picker, and then find the tones. Sorry, this happens. See? So I picked the sky's color here. Can you see that? Then I pick the color picker again and put my stylus here. And then I pick the color picker here. Can you see it? Then I can go along color picker. You see how the colors changed towards the edge? And then you think that the tones are all the same, but it's not. And then I'm just going, watch me how I just go down, pick the color picker and drag it, the same color, and then all the way to that sea level. Yeah, and then we do the same here. And then you'll see as you get closer, you're able to see these tones shaping up so differently. See the tonal variation? It looked like it was blended. Well, it is blended, and that's something we're going to do as well, blend these tones. But first, what I'm doing is method of block coloring, which means I'm going to put down all the colors, the primary colors that are on this reference image, okay? This is a good brush to use. This one, 22%, 20%. Okay, I'm picking the color of the sea here, and then just dragging it again here. I'm taking it from and then dragging it from the outside. And you'll notice that I'm using very broad colors. I'm not worried about which specific color I'm using, because I'll come across that. And let me see that rock on the right. So let's pick that black so we get that right. Yeah, so we know. And then let's pick these shadows there. There, see? So try and follow the direction of the tone that's similar. Can you see that? There. So this is really for anyone who wants to learn art. It is a very powerful technique, and you'll find that most teachers, YouTubers, when you go, they talk about tones and values, and they try and relate it to traditional materials, but now you have the ability to learn tones and values in this powerful way of using color picker on this app. Yeah, that's all it is. So remember, I'm not telling you that you need to become a digital artist through an app. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you need to develop these essential skills in art using the app, and this app will allow you to do that. Now I've come to the rocks. So this is what I have, and I've come to the rocks. Let me just fill up the white here like that. I'm not worried about the color yet. I could probably change that as I go. Now I've come to the rock, right? And look at these rocks, right? They're very toned. They're a dark tone, but I feel that 222 is a bit harder. So I'm going to take it to 14, 15%, a bit bigger. See, it's more manageable. I can get these rocks, including the stones, including the water that's seeping in between. So capture that. Now I'm using kind of a drawing stroke. Yeah, because I'm just filling the gap just like I would with a normal brush, yeah? There. See this turn in this particular turn? We can't get the whole tonal value of the size because we've got a bigger brush, but that's what we do. Have you ever seen a good one of these good artists start off with a small brush, thin brush? No, they lay down the first bulk of their painting. I mean, I've seen many YouTubers bulk of their painting with a big brush and then gradually work their way down. It's exactly the same concept, right? Then they start doing the detail. Look how quickly I'm covering the area, right? You can use tools, but then you'll be limited by tools, like I said, because when you want to do drawings at this level of detail, the nature, what nature has given to us, if you want to draw pictures of nature, you have to let go of those digital tools. And I'm not trying to compete with the digital. I am a very advanced user of Photoshop. When it comes to drawing, I wouldn't be drawing like this. I've been in technology most of my life, and I've developed websites, e-commerce websites, graphics, logos, vector illustrations, brochures, you name it. But when it comes to drawing, like for most people who enjoy traditional art, this is it. Look how quickly I've managed to fill the colors through block colors. Really powerful. I've been thinking of ways of developing the techniques, and then after having done accidentally the snowy scene of that, I showed you that snowy scene earlier, which I was also done by freehand. Of course, referring to the reference image here. I sort of feel that I've got a better control over the properties of the brush, I've got much more able to, and then I'm going to see if I can, because the whole idea is that you've got to take this drawing at this first level and then take it all the way to this, right? But slowly over time we will. So this is the first step. The first thing I can think of is I'm just, look at that pink, haze of pink going stretching across. So I'm going to switch to this, let's save this as our first step in the drawing process. Now let's try and blend the sky, right? We got, there we have. So I thought that was the horizon goes all the way to the left, but there's probably an island, small island. So let's see how we're gonna. So I'm gonna pick. We're gonna switch to the shade brush here. Leave it 100%, and then just take it down to about 8%. And then what would I do here? You'll be quite amazed with how quickly one can blend. This was actually my daughter who showed me this. To thank her for that. Look, take it up over a little bit. You could have started out with the shade brush as well. I'm not saying you needed to do that, but I was using block coloring as a quick method. Just look how it's beautifully shading, taking those horizontal markers away quite easily, right? look at that light, bright. And we're going to try and get that glow of the yellow. That lovely. Take that. You can do it. Look how far we've achieved, yeah? So we can take that and then that sort of goes towards the left a little bit. And then let's see how you're tuning your brain. And then this goes about here. And then you got this wonderful purple. I hate this. That, and that's two. It's two. You can see it's very distinctive, the two layers. So we need to somehow merge that in. So let's look at this color, right? And let's look at this color. The two variations. Let's see what happens. Let's look at this color, which is this, and let's pick this color, which is somewhere there. So it's got to be somewhere like in between here. Let's have a look if we pick this in between color and see if we can somehow. Well, what we can do is pick that purple color. Okay, let's pick that purple color. We don't want to introduce any other color. Then let's take this down so we can play with this tonal and then somehow seep into this, right? And then let's take the yellow and then just, do you see how I've sort of reduced the effect? Right, the same thing here. And then play with this hardness setting. Ridiculous. Oh, go away. See that? So you could say that's almost a sky, isn't it? Look at that. That yellow happens to go up. So we can, actually I meant to take it down. So we can shape this accordingly. And this purple haze is just diffusing at the distance. That's looking like a nice sky. What do you think? Yeah, I think that looks okay. And then you can see that lovely purple haze. You can carry on and on doing this blending, yeah, as much as you want to your heart's content. But obviously I've got a limited time at what I can do. So I'm happy with that. And then now let's look at this C setting. Now this is very interesting. We're going to come back to the line brush. Okay. And then we're going to start zooming in to do some of that partial, the actual thing. Actually, you know, some of you will know that I'm working with a prototype app with the next release. So we're testing something, and then there seems to be some memory leak, and then I have to save it and keep opening it. I didn't have to do it before, you probably noticed that. Okay, so we're going to do there. So watch how quickly we can create. Look at that. Watch how quickly we can, how much control you have over a smaller brush. Let's take it to 3%. Keep the density at the 100%. And let's use the color picker here and just take that and then look at our drawing. And then if you need to blend it, just blend it like this. Okay, you can even blend. You can even blend with this. See that? It's a little bit the distance. So I'm just doing this quickly for you, but I would spend more time. Now let's go back to the smaller brush, 2.5%, let's say, and then let's focus on these tiny details. So we can do two things. I'm going to switch, because I put this down, I'm going to switch between my drawing, and then this with this left icon here. This, can you see that? So all we do is we pick the color picker. Let's see where the line brush is. Take it to about 40%, okay? And then watch what happens when I'm getting the color picker of the reference image here, picking that purple color of the hills. And just look, see, we managed to do that, didn't we? And then we pick this color, and then we're gonna, okay, see how easy that was. And then we got this color here, then we're gonna just see this, get the reference image so you can see the line. Right, you see how we're doing that? Again, now these details are everything that encompasses the sea. Right here, pick that color. Watch what happens. And then pick this color, the gray color. There. See that? So again, just keep going along. There, can you see we're refining it? Giving the illusion of land there, and then this color. Okay, that's all we're doing. Just trying to replicate some of this wonderful colors in the horizon now that we got closer to it. And then you'll see it'll make a huge difference. Then we got this color, the adjacent horizon color, and then I've just followed that. So instead of looking like a bold, sort of a hard, like a line that doesn't look, there you see, that doesn't look like anything like a horizon. Now we've created beautiful horizon. Look at that purple haze, it changes here, and then it keeps to a different color there. And then look what we've got. Look how we've created the horizon, and then we're going to work our way down with that same 2.5% brush to do those lines there. Can you see those? These are different techniques altogether. Don't worry about it, just follow it. Again, the setting 40%, 2.6%. There. Just going across, picking the tones. You'll be surprised with how much progress you can make. So when you actually come to do freehand, you'll be able to see what the image is, you'll be able to take a closer look and say, that's what I need to do. You're learning. These skills are essentially teaching you to draw just like traditional artists would draw. So you're trying to take some of these tonal values and applying some of this to the actual drawing. Look at that light tone there. Then there's a dark tone. We can capture that. No deal. No problem. There. Okay, let's see what we got. See, we've got some kind of a coast at the top, and let's do that. This is more prominent, so let's do this area, right? Let's take this brush 2%. And remember, I always put the cursor in just the top half so I can capture these ripples. Right, again, nothing changed, 40%. I may take it down a tad, right? But this is it. You have to experiment, trust me. If you don't experiment, you're not going to learn, because you're going to be constantly looking for some tools to help you. If you learn techniques, you're the master of your tools. And that's what allows me. And what's important is when I'm showing you the water that's coming, it makes up. Look, see? And then get these dark tones. And then even bring it down a notch. Why not? And look, this one that we used with the bulk, it's not working. Let's take it up 40%. I think I need to do this quickly. So look at that, these tones. Right, you can flick between your tone. So I'm going to take it up more. And then the tones of the reference image, and just see what comes out. This really helps you to understand how your canvas is changing with the tones and what you're applying. Honestly, you'll be like shocked. That's actually a dark tone, so I'm going to pick that. Just follow the C marks. Right there. Look at that white tone. And then if that's working, that's fine, right? Leave it. And then just remember this technique that you use to do that and apply it to another seascape painting that you want to do. Look at these colors, beautiful colors changing with the light. See, in traditional they go on about the light, and then they talk about how light falls on the thing. You don't have to learn all that. You can digital just makes it all easy. You can see what the tones, how they're changing. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to capture these dark tones that are happening here. That's all it is. This dark tone. That's all it is. Let's see what that looks. See? It's beginning to look like a C, isn't it? You have to admit. The top, if you ignore anything at the bottom. So this really helps you to understand tones here, and then really to take control of your tones just use this. You know, you see, I mean, I'm switching back and forth until I'm satisfied with the tone that matches the tone of this, as well as understanding the region next to it. Look at that, so bright, isn't it? Look at that black one. So if you want to create the black shape that's formed here, then you might want to put in the reference image, and then okay, that's all it is. Tonal coloring. A lot of traditional artists are artists by their nature, but they don't come from a technical background, so they will continue to practice with traditional, and so they're not going to promote digital because digital is being used by people who make use of lots of tools, right? Let's see what we've got. It's pretty impressive, isn't it? There, and then let's go over here, finish this bit here, and then I'm going to come up to the stone here. So I'm going to go here, so here, look, come up here, then just lay down the tones. Get closer if you want to, yeah? Look at that. This is, when you get so close to the details, then you realize how your drawing should be, right? Because you have so much control over what's going to be applied, yeah? Because you're applying. See, the cottage that I did, I find that there's more to digital art than what meets the eye, and then I'm thinking, gosh, you know, I can't wait to keep expanding my skills, you know? What's in store? Is there more in store? Yeah. So you're picking these colors, and then as you pick these colors, you will instinctively get the notion of colors in your drawing, because that's what you want, isn't it? They talk about tones all the time, isn't it? Have you ever seen an artist who doesn't talk about tone? Maybe he'll use shading. He or she will use shading as an example. But they will go on about tones, shading, values. Look at that dark color there while you're at it. Beautiful, isn't it? Capturing the essence. And this, I could probably increase the brush a little bit because everything's becoming a lot bigger, isn't it? It's fine. Let's see what we have. That's pretty good, isn't it? So let's finish this part of this stone, and then I'm going to have to do my the you know, lifting it, saving it, and then bringing it out again. I think I might need to take it down again. Let's get close. So we've got this dark stone, and then I've got this dark stone sitting on the edge here. This light, this beautiful light waves that are hitting it, well behind it, and then this weird dark object here, could be a rock, and then that here, another piece of part of that rock, isn't it? And then this is how we create shape. This is all about tonal values. The problem with the traditional is that you can't get this close, can you? Unless you're keeping a microscope or a magnifying glass close to you. And how many times are you going to refer to a magnifying glass? Not often. Look at these. Then you'll get an idea of how to replicate these shades to your drawing. And that's all it is, really. All it is. So wonderful. Alright, there. I hope you're following along to me, right? Following along with me, I should say. Look at that piece of, look at that, how that wave turns. Yes, we'll capture that. And what's going on below here? So we just, with our broad brush, we didn't know what was going on. So now we can add detail to this area here. Right? Perfect. Now you'll know how to create a seascape, yeah? So easy. That's how I did the water on the stream. Now let's see what it looks like. Look, we created that lovely sort of rock, and then we can carry on down. You see where the blue is here? Can you see? Keep going down, and then we have lovely sea, and then we can change it. How are we doing for time? Yeah, 9. We're an hour, so I'm going to switch, and then try and show you this area here. Yeah. So let's take the brush. I'm going to show you this area, the rock, the forefront of the rock. Yeah. So I'm going to save it. Save. Pick the drawing up again. Okay. So I'm gonna show you a little bit of the rock. I'm gonna spend like probably 15-20 minutes showing you how to get the rock and the water in the foreground here. Let's have a closer look at it. Let's get these bits, right? Look at the different shading, and you're thinking, how the hell are we going to do that? But it's so easy, you'll be surprised. So just keep the brush small, right? And I've got 100%. And the reason I want the 100% is because I want to get the density of these rocks. So I'm not too bothered. Okay, I'm going to actually take it down actually to 70%. So that's quite a higher setting than we had before. So I'm simply using tracing to shape this area, right? What I see. to get it to very close to what should be there, right? Just because with the smaller brush, I can see tones happening all over. So with this smaller brush, I'll be able to get more detail. See that? Getting this detail. Then always continue to pick the brush. So this is not really drawing, but it's really, this is not trying to learn to draw. It's like looking at shades. That's all you're doing, looking at shades. Looking at these different variation of the shades. See, even with the bigger brush, we didn't get the right shade. You can see we got a darker shade than that normal. So we're now refining the shade. This is what you do, is as you do this, you're really appreciating how the brush works and how that's exactly what traditional artists will do. The same thing. They know they have a good, that's why they're good artists, because they know their tools really well. They know the colors they're mixing. So we're just trying to get similar. The shapes here. And then by tuning ourselves into this tracing method really helps us a great deal. I mean, in traditional, you have the tracing, which is highly recommended, but you won't have the power like you have in the digital, like I'm showing you. You just won't. Okay, let's see what we have created here. Okay, so you can see for yourself. That is getting close to what we want. Okay, do you follow? This is getting close, and then you can take, when you come to refine it, you will make it even better. Right, so always experiment. So, don't think that something has to be done in exactly the fashion you want it. And when you do, you're not really thinking, you're not keeping your mind open to possibilities. And let's have a look here. Let's get these colors. So let's just finish these little rocks with all that nuances. Can you see that one? That's like, so creating that. So creating this dark region here. So I'm going to take the density back to 40%, so I have more control over the drawing. I can apply a few more strokes than normal. Then you'll quickly see the tone changes there. We're just picking up these tones. This is really what leads you to do photorealistic drawings, by being able to get close to the detail. This is how I did the water, even freehand, yeah? Let's get that black, blue. Then look at these colors. Get the impression. That's all you're doing. You're trying to build up an impression rather than details. If you looked at any famous works of art in the museum and got close to what the image looks like, it just looks nothing like what you thought you did when you look from a distance. It's a mishmash of colors. This is typically how artists do their drawing. That's the reason why they use a big canvas, is they can get away with the details, the smaller details, you know. I've done on big canvas as well, painted on big canvas, but I'd like to be more expressionistic when I'm using traditional. Get these down. Just trying to get the shape. That's all there is. We don't know what they are, and we don't really care. We're just trying to get the essence of the shape, right? That's all. Look at that. That goes, wraps around. And just black. Got the lovely blue here. So let's see what we have. It's beginning to look like water, isn't it? That's piled up in the middle. Yeah, so that's where we have it. Let's do the in fact, let's do the sea, because that needs to be done, right? Again. Let's go here. Yeah. And then the gray, just follow the tones. Yeah, that's it. Let's follow the tones. That's all it is. Use different colors, different tones to create a sense of waves and movement, yeah? All these tones that make up the whole drawing. And then try and apply it. Oh, wonderful, isn't it? There. Just picking up various tones of the ocean waves. I want to capture that stream, so I want to show you that before I, finish it here. Look at this. Let's look. It's got some of that wave, isn't it? Now, let's see if we can. I love this area here. So let's see how we're going to capture this. Let's take it up a notch. Okay, let's capture these tones here. Seem to be going in one direction. Yeah, capture a bit more. Right, just want to capture this, like, you know, this wave-like thing that's coming out. Let's see if we can pull it up. Look at that, beautiful. So I've increased the just like we're going to give this a wave-like effect. Right, look at that. It's already coming out, doesn't it? And let's grab another. And look at that, those colors. Just moving my fingers. And look at these colors. Let's grab these. They're coming from the rear. Like a wave, isn't it? There. It's great, isn't it? Now let's have a look. Pick this blue tone that's the crashing and falling off. To the end there. Look. It's not quite as much as I'm showing it, but nevertheless still looks good. Right. Wow, that's pretty good. That's our drawing. We could actually turn that into just this bit enough. Take that down. And then just going to finish these rocks there. Just these tiny rocks. Then bring these waves. So I've got a bigger brush and it's really helping to shape it instead of look at that. Isn't it amazing what you can do? This big one here. So just switching the brush size, not using any tools. Just switching the brush size. You see that? How that was created? So just using a different brush size. 4% as opposed to the one I was using to get the details. What a difference it makes, isn't it? You can see that coming up, isn't it? I think you can see for yourself that that's going to shape up to be a good piece of art, isn't it? Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then you could even, you know, play with it. There, can you see those white? That looks like it's, but we want to shape it so it looks like, and then put a little bit. If you've got more white, use it to your advantage. And add more of that. There, is it? Created our own thing here, and then we could just blend this out. So it's in a way it's blending, and see any part of the sea that needs to be done. If you don't like it, just take it out. little there. Well, look how far we've achieved in just over an hour. So just want to show you the power of the digital medium using using the minimum set of tools and just using your artistic techniques and skills. So it wasn't actually difficult to begin with. It wasn't at all difficult. It was easy. It's block coloring to bring it to this first stage in the drawing process, and then followed by smaller details with a smaller brush, which we were hitting the rocks with, and then the big change was when I made transition to the 4% brush size and still maintaining a 30% density, 30-40%, and then just refining the sea, and then this line of wave hitting the beach, right? Just like looks really nice, I think. And then you could keep playing with these colors. Believe me, as you get better and better, you'll play with these colors. You can be more creative. I'm not. I I feel I can be more creative. My daughter keeps pushing me instead of just showing you these simple techniques. But I know these techniques are essential to good drawing. That's why I continue to press on that. So I hope you take the opportunity to draw and to show how drawing is so powerful on the digital medium, including your phone. And with Paintology app, you will learn the true nature of tones that exist in the real image, or even in anything. Even if you do life work, if you look at an object in front of you, like the TV or fruits or a teacup or anything, you should draw that with this phone as well, so you can understand. Take a picture of it and get the tonal values, and then draw from your for like just by looking at it. Yeah, believe me, you apply these skills to your own creative format as you get better and better, and that's central to drawing, I think. If you go through the tools, you'll become a digital animator. Maybe you want a career in 3D animation, games industry, online brochures, and things. If you're just into art because you like the traditional art, you can't get better than this, can you? So I'm going to finish this. Probably take another half an hour to finish this drawing, and then I'll post it in the page. I've already shown you the page. This page, where is that? It's this. I will post it on this page here. So this is the page from the paintology.com. Select step-by-step video tutorials. You'll come to this page and you'll see the completed drawings here. So I hope you've enjoyed this so please remember that I have another one coming up in 25 minutes. I'll take a short break and then we'll resume another fine piece of art, maybe adopt different techniques. So you see, it's techniques can be used. It's entirely up to you how you see it, how you master your tools. If you're the master of the tools, you can push it to the levels that I'm showing you. I feel that I could go a lot more further than where I am. So I'm pretty happy with that, because then everyone throughout the centuries, people have been trying to master nature. Landscape is one of the most predominant subjects painted by people for absolutely good reasons. So next one, 25 minutes away, and then hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye bye.